What brought me to this point all started back in my home in Portland, Oregon, where I grew up, when my dad brought home one of the first Apple II computers. And I remember him taking me down to the basement. We set up this makeshift workstation, plugged it in, and for the first time saw this personal computer light up. And then we sat there together and learned how to tell this piece of technology to do something. And it was magic. And for me, I could tell that that gift that my father was giving me, like teaching me this thing, was going to change the rest of my life.
Well, for me, it goes back to when we started Pluralsight. And we started Pluralsight as a classroom training company. You fly to a company and you train 10 to 12 people for a week, 8 hours a day. All that work that we put into it was maybe touching a couple hundred people a year. I think it wasn't until we began scaling this product into the website and putting our courses online that we began to realize the potential of spreading this even wider than what we initially thought.
It was actually on a flight coming home from one of those courses that I saw the vision that the world could become our classroom. And that's really what brought us to today. If we could replicate what we did with 1 to 1 million or 100 million people around the world, like we could unlock human potential in a way that would really make a difference for all of us.
They were democratizing early on, even before this philanthropic branch came into an idea. Volunteering and giving back has always been very important to our family and to us personally. When it really comes down to it, people all should be giving the way that they're able to. And I think that's what develops community and really brings us together.
I think being a force for good is a tremendous thing. We live in a beautiful world. There's so much good in it. It all goes back to the one. You know, there are so many people out there that are being left behind, that are just in the corner, that don't have a voice, that aren't being seen. Being a force for good is everyone doing something, reaching out to the one. You know, we can't do everything, but everyone can do something to better this world. And it aligns perfectly with me, it aligns perfectly with our family and what we try to accomplish, you know, just changing the world one person at a time, making a difference for someone.
You know, all this stuff comes back to us here at home. We love to teach, we love to learn. We sit right here at this island and I teach my daughters and my sons how to code. And we learn things together. As we've watched Pluralsight evolve and we've witnessed the success of what Pluralsight is doing in the world, it's caused us to grow faster than many of us ever imagined. And because of that, we realized that we had to get really intentional about creating the right long-term social impact strategy combined with our commercial strategy. And that led to the formation of Pluralsight One, the entity. And those two pieces together are strategically important to the long-term commitment of the Pluralsight mission, democratizing access to these tech skills.
I mean, the world is changing every day in the technology space. So if people in the world are going to be part of the future economy, they need to understand how technology fits into it and ideally how parts of it work so they can be productive contributors to the new world economy. Pluralsight One will have become what we hope it will become when we see it making a real difference in people's lives elsewhere in the world and changing people's lives for the better where they didn't have hope before, but now they do have hope.
You know, the reason we picked the name Pluralsight One was because we saw the power in one individual, the power in one community united for change. You know, and ultimately the power in one shared vision for democratizing tech skills everywhere. You know, really in the end, Pluralsight One is all about replicating that gift my dad gave me. You know, he gave me the gift of this tech skill, you know, of being introduced to this whole new world and whole new future. And Pluralsight One is about giving that to everyone, everywhere, regardless of where they live or how they grew up or what constraints are in their way. And united by that vision and that mission, we are one.